What's up guys, Heat King here, bringing you a review on the latest One Piece chapter 841. It's been a while since I've done a One Piece review, mostly because I was busy doing Bleach and the Naruto anime. And now Bleach over, I guess I can go back to doing my One Piece now because, yeah, this is going to go on for a few more years, right? So yeah, a quick little rehash on the chapters that I read and what I thought on them very quickly. 839, I think that was the chapter when we first got a proper idea of what Sanji's family is like, and I have to say, I've never been more pissed off reading a chapter with characters that I've wanted to hit so badly in my life. I mean, oh my god, the way Oda just like writes certain characters so you can hate them, like they're meant to be hated, it's just brilliant and painful because it's just like it causes great vengeful anger. And yeah, Sanji's brothers are dicks. They're pretty much dicks. Like, they are the impediment, or whatever you like to call it, of just assholes. And it's, yeah, it's horrible what they did to their servant as well, and then beating Sanji up for it. The next chapter after that, we finally got the big revelation as to what Sanji and his brothers, his siblings, really are. First of all, they're not test tube babies. A lot of people are going around calling them test tube babies. No, they had a mother. So they're not test tube babies, for Christ's sake, but they are genetically modified, and Sanji's dad did work with Vegapunk. So again, more little references to Vegapunk, and I'm just curious when we're going to see that character, because I'm starting to think that he's going to be a character that's probably going to be revealed towards the very end of the series, maybe as the final arc villain or not, because there's just so much mystery surrounding him. And so much foreshadowing as well that I just can't help feel like he might be the big bad of the whole series when it comes to it. Maybe not, but like just the way they're building him up, like it just seems a bit weird we haven't seen him yet after all these years. Like come on man, show him already. But yeah, Sanji is basically, in the basic way to describe his character now, he's basically the Naruto of One Piece. I mean, this is the dude who showed no talent whatsoever, only to, you know, mesmerized everyone with the talents that he had, and that he indeed has great talent. So, and I think there was rumors that Oda was originally going to call him Naruto before Naruto even existed, but that changed afterwards. So I don't know if that's true or not, but it's funny actually, because like it sort of fits now with Sanji's character, what we know about him, and also a nice callback to the whole Devol incident, what with the Iron Mask and that. Like, that's just some that mega foreshadowing there from over there, like early on, like to think that was back in the first half of One Piece as well, like, and now we're here after the time skip and the war and everything. It's like, whoa, like I don't know if it was Oda planning this from the very beginning since then. As for Sanji's family, man, yeah, getting big Nazi vibes, and the whole Iron Mask thing also gave me the whole Three Musketeers or the Man in the Iron Mask kind of theme as well. So like, yeah, there's a whole Nazi theme going on, the whole French thing. Sanji's father basically comes across as King Louis, like that, you know, that evil bastard version that Leonardo DiCaprio played in that film. So that's what it comes across as. But yeah, interesting chapters, and then of course Raiju, man, like the hints were there. That she, you know, she's not all insane like her brothers, and that there's a bit of good in her. And you know, last week's chapter sort of kind of confirmed that, especially with her first appearance, of course. And this chapter just kind of confirms even further that yeah, she's good. She has a soul. So this chapter, man, just like it basically goes back to, you know, how Sanji's living while he was wearing that Iron Mask, and it, you know, explains that about 6 weeks or 6 months or something has passed, and we get a flashback where Sanji, you know, he goes to visit his mother who's very ill and very sick, and she looks just like Raiju, by the way, and he's cooking meals for her. I mean, that's what started him on the path of wanting to become a chef, because he wanted to cook meals for his mom who was ill. We don't know if his mom is dead or not, we just know that his dad did end up getting a new mistress. So I imagine she's still alive, because we still don't know what was told to him by Big Mama's subordinates. So the chances are she is alive, but still ill, maybe dying. Raiju, if I'd done my review last week, I would have pretty much said that Raiju is going to be the one that's going to break Sanji out of the cell, and that's pretty much what happened here. Like, they go to a war in East Blue with Coltietza or whatever. No idea who they are. All I know is that in one of the panels from the background, the way the castles look, they look sort of Japanese-esque. I'm wondering if perhaps this is where Zoro lived, or if this is the, you know, where his instructor and stuff lived. I mean, I wonder if that's going to be a tie into one of the characters later on, or not. Like, would it be interesting if Zoro's friend, that little girl, you know, I mean, she died from falling down the stairs, right? What if she was actually assassinated? Yeah, that would put more fuel on the fire, wouldn't it? Zoro versus Sanji. That's just my speculation. I don't know. Maybe it's someone else, but I just thought it would be interesting to point out. And yeah, Sanji obviously escaping thanks to Raiju, and we don't see him see his mother again. We don't know if she died or not, but chances are she's still alive because we didn't get any mention of her passing away. Maybe we did and I just didn't pay attention. He does confront his father. His father technically finds him as he's trying to steal the key to unlock the mask. And his dad pretty much tells him that he's perfectly fine with him running away of his own violation, and that, you know, as long as he's running away, he doesn't mention to anyone who he's related to because he wants nothing to do with him. He doesn't want to even know that he's got a son because he's embarrassed of him. Because, like, he didn't show any progress in his powers, obviously, until much, much later in life. So, yeah, Sanji crying, Raiju overhearing this and crying as well. He just runs off. We get told that there's a cruise ship nearby, which is obviously the ship Sanji escapes to. So we're probably going to get some sort of flashback to that, maybe. Maybe not, since we already know pretty much how it all works and how it all came to be now. But, yeah, that pretty much explains how Sanji ended up on that cruise ship. And what his attitude with his mother and sister and all that is. I will say this, I do think Raiju is playing some sort of long con game. And that she might end up obviously turning against her dad and helping Sanji out. So I'm going to be curious to see how that all turns out or not. But yeah, overall this chapter was pretty simple and basic in terms of just coming full circle with his character and explaining, you know, all the ins and whats. But yeah, that's pretty much the origins of Sanji sort of done. The only big questions remaining now is what happened to his mom and what the overall big plan for his dad is. And obviously, like, the Revier was mentioned and how it's going to get to a point where they're not going to be able to attend it anymore, so they're waiting for that moment to come, and then when it does, they're going to break free and cause some sort of disturbance. And that there's also the fact that, you know, Sanji's dad was a scientist and he knows how to clone people, so there's also that factor to put in there. Cloning now officially exists. Makes you wonder, like, if we're gonna get any clones of other dead characters, maybe, because why else introduce that concept, right? But yeah, a decent chapter. Last week's was definitely better, but this week's, yeah, I guess it works in terms of just, like I said, bringing it full circle and setting Sanji on the path that he would become in. Also, Raiju pretty much telling Sanji to run away, and that he will hopefully, you know, he will find people who will appreciate him and accept him for who he is. And then we obviously cut back to the present with Raiju kicking the guards out, trying to tend to him and scolding Sanji for what he's doing and stuff. But yeah, she's definitely a sister that cares. I mean, she's got the whole Robin vibe, you know. She didn't care, isn't she a good guy? And obviously there is a part of her that is good. So I'm kind of liking how Old is just kind of giving us those pointers very quickly instead of taking his time with it, because at this point it's annoying to kind of do repeats, if you know what I mean. So like, we don't need to spend weeks and weeks and weeks wondering about Raiju's allegiance. Like, just to give us, just confirm it to us straight away, because like we've already had this kind of character trope before. We don't need it to repeat itself again. So I'm liking how the speed is going. And then of course, oh yeah, the ending of this chapter, Luffy having spent 11 hours fighting Cracker, and all he's done in that time is run, eat his biscuit sodas, and repeat. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually. I mean, why wouldn't you eat the biscuit sodas, right? I mean, Luffy, have you seen Luffy? He eats anything he can get his mouth on, so like, it just makes a lot of sense. Like, why wouldn't you? A lot of people sound disappointed with the fight, but it's like, no, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, they're made out of biscuits, for Christ's sake. I mean, all of these villains and characters, if they're food, then technically the only way to beat them is to eat them, so it makes kind of sense. The worst thing that could happen is if Cracker manages to somehow make the biscuits inside, you know, what is it, Luffy's body come to life and pick away at him from the inside. That would be horrible if that happened, but like, obviously that's not gonna happen. It's a shonen, it's not some messed up dark ass fantasy manga now. But yeah, that was funny. That was a funny way to end it, and it just makes sense. But yeah, I'm hoping the fight kind of ends because I'm getting tired of it. I'm pretty much getting tired of all the stuff to do with Luffy and the seducing words and Big Mom, and I just want to go back to Sanjay and his family because that stuff's just, it's gotten a lot more interesting now with these revelations. So I want to see more of that. Anyway, I feel like crap now, and I need to go and eat something before I go to work in an hour. So. Damn it. Goddamn sore throat, man. Goddamn cold. Anyway, guys, like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts and stuff below. And, you know, I can't do this. I'm so sick, man. Take care, guys.